Hello and welcome to round 10 of the Ducky Touring Car Championship. This week's racing from Road Atlanta Full, possibly the longest track on the calendar that we'll be using. Pole position was Mesosphere with Brain in my boxes, filling out the top row. Then we have Rubber Dave and Rosny bringing in row 2. PTG Ducky in 5th, Juggernaut in 6th, and Alcoholic and Woody Lizard filling out row 4. Miffy Mac in 9th, King of Camber 10th, and PTG Coops after disastrous qualifying bringing up 11th place. And we are off. Really poor start there for Mesosphere. Brains is well away as expected in the BMW, but Rubber Dave is up alongside and Rosny's having a peek as well. Though I think he's he's backed out of it going into turn 1. As we go on up the hill, Rubber Dave definitely challenging Brains. I think he's got the inside into the next corner as well. He has. However, Brains pulls off the switchback and now goes round the outside, heading down the hill. Close racing up here at the front. Ooh, running a little wide on the exit, but gets away with it. That curb can be slippy. Further back, looks like we got Jugs trying to go around the outside of a very well starting King of Camber, up from 10th place to 6th. That's going well. And we got contact. Miffy's got into the, oh my goodness, it's all gone to hell there. Miffy Mac got a little in the side of King of Camber, and it looks like him and Jugs have definitely come off worse, and with damage on, that's going to get painful. Luckily, relatively low speed, so there might not be too much carnage there. Meanwhile, back up the front, it looks like Rubber Dave is challenging Brains down into the chicane. On the outside, though, that's going to get tricky, and he's outbraked himself as well. That's let through everyone, so he's dropped down to 5th place. Miffy Mac further back down. Oh, just gave Coops a little nudge off the road there. I think Coops was being a little adventurous trying to go around the outside there, though. Every front-wheel drive car kind of understeers out. Oh, he's hit a wall. Miffy's just touched the wall, and that's let the whole party through. Oh, yep, there's even Coops coming through as well. Dropping back, and oh, what a first couple of laps this has been. Alcoholic now, just nudging into the back end of Woody, knocking him so far into the kiddie litter, he's going to need a map to get back to the track. Meanwhile, the racing at the front is still really close. Top 4 barely separated by any gaps at all. Oh, that's quite wide from Ducky. I'm not entirely certain how much closer Mesosphere plans on getting to Brains. There's not a lot of room there, but he's also not going to get round the outside. Just keeping the old pressure on. But it's nice to see the focus up near the front. Just shows the adjustments made to the car builds really have tightened up the racing. Brains feeling the need to go a little defensive down into the chicane. Under immense pressure. Meanwhile, it looks like Rubber Dave's caught up with Ducky. Oh, Ducky's run a bit wide. That's let Rubber Dave get in underneath him, coming out to the chicane, moving him up into 4th place. Back up the front. Looks like the first 3 have broken away slightly from 4th and 5th. Oh, Brains has run a little wide. Oh, that's given Mesosphere an opening. He's got a much better run. Gets the inside going into the last turn. Over the stripe. Taking the lead. I don't think Brains is going to give him much time to settle in that position, though. Immediately all over the back of him. Mind you, he's going to have to also watch himself because Rosny's closed in. That Civic is flying around here. Further back down the field, looks like the Focus boys are closing in together. Although it looks like Ducky's got himself a little out of shape. Make that more than a little out of shape. Drifting the entire section, and that just lets Coops through. Teammate saying thank you very much. Won't need a second invitation. Oh, looks like Miffy's had a bit of damage. Smoke already pouring out the back of that. Oh, this isn't gonna... Oh, that's the end of a tyre wall. That's gonna be a very sudden stop. Oh, I thought it was damaged beforehand. Nothing compared to this. Wonder if we can get a better view of him. Look at that trail of smoke. Reminds me more of the Red Arrow Stunt Aeronautics team than a car race. Back up towards the front. As you can see, top three still close together. Mesosphere's not been able to break away. It's not like they've lost Rosny either. Really close action up here. But so evenly matched that no one's breaking away or able to challenge though right at this moment in time. Looks like Ducky back here has had a fairly unfortunate race. From challenging for a podium position, and now he's made another mistake. No one near him, no one challenging him, just lost concentration. Luckily, such a massive gap, not big enough it would appear, to Jugs as Jugs sneaks through. Ducky was looking so good. And I've no idea what's happened to King of Camber. I could not find where this incident happened, but his car is bouncing all over the place. So much smoke pouring out the back. Definitely not a happy end of this race. Looks like he's been on his roof or something, because every panel's buckled. Anyway, we come back, and here's Mesosphere crossing the line. Looks like he did get a bit of a gap towards the end of the race. With Brains My Boxers coming home in second. And pretty much immediately behind him, we've got Rosny. And Rubber Dave in fourth. Fifth place, of course, being rounded out by Coops. So there we have our top five, with fastest lap going to Rosny, although all the top four were only separated by less than a tenth of a second in this race. Championship standings wise though, quite interesting, as now the gap is only 10 points between Brains and Mesosphere. Petuk dropping down though due to missing this race, unfortunately. It's a bit more horsepower. Certainly got a slightly better straight line speed. Down the inside. Doesn't look like it's done though. Rosny's held it round the outside. Inside into the next corner. Still not done. Great lap. Meanwhile, back further forward, Rubber Dave and Alcoholic battling for last place on the podium. That contact though just gave Coops the inside as he moves up into third place.